In today's uncut YouTube video, we're going to be talking about monitors. Not this one, but rather this one. So if you're in any sort of video production or music production, these monitors are essentially big speakers that you can use to monitor your audio. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Alex. I am a video producer and a filmmaker, and I used to have a background in music production actually. For those of you that are coming back onto the channel, welcome back. It's good to have you again. And I wanted to share about these. They are the Focal Alpha 65 Evos. And I want to share a little bit about my experience, my thoughts on these, and just right off the bat, these are fantastic. I really like the Focals. They are probably the best in this price range. I don't want to say in this price range the best. There's one other pair of monitors that I used to have that I don't have anymore, but that company was like a very small, it was a startup that didn't, I don't think they ended up lasting. But other than those monitors, these are probably the best monitors that I've bought in that $300 to $400 per monitor range. So for a pair of these, you're going to be paying $800. I got this as sort of like a birthday gift slash Christmas gift slash end of the year gift for myself. My birthday was in November, but here's the box that they came in. And I just right off the bat, I want to say that I love them because they have a good they have a good balance of like low end detail. So your bass is really tight. It's not, too muddy. And they have these smooth highs. If you are I'm going to assume that you probably have not tried a bunch of different monitors. Maybe you found this video and you have a pair of monitors that you've tried. But these Focals are fantastic. I think they are exactly what I've been looking for. With the one thing that I have noticed is that there is a lot of detail in like the upper mids, which I think is great for anyone that is like mixing vocals or mixing music and you kind of want to be able to identify any issues in that upper mid range. But as I was just like listening to music off of Spotify, I just couldn't help but like notice that the upper mids were a little bit more pronounced than I would like. And it's a little bit tiring. But anyhow, I don't want to get too much into all these specific audio terms. I just want to give a simple overview into my monitor purchasing and working experience. So maybe that this video can help you decide which monitor that you might want to get for yourself. So I would say in this price range, the really popular monitors that you're going to see are from these major manufacturers. Yamaha's, KRK's, they are going to be probably the most common ones you see. Adam Audio also makes a series called, they have the T5V and then they have the T7V, which are also going to be a little bit more, I would say, I think they're perceived as a little more premium than the Yamahas and the KRKs. And then below that you have like the budget, like PreSonus. I'm trying to think of Mackey's. I'm not gonna share anything about PreSonus and Mackey's in this video. I think if you're on a budget, those speakers are, at that budget, I think are gonna be some of your kind of like no-brainer options just because they're just so affordable. But I would highly encourage to, if you can, save up and skip the PreSonus and the Mackeys and look into this range of Yamaha, KRK, Adam, and now what I'm gonna recommend to you are these Focals. So at the end of the day, it's all about audio preference and what you like. For me, I like very tight bass. So that means, not everything, it's not like, what's the best way to describe what a tight bass is? It's very clean. It's very in the low end. You can kind of hear where things are sitting in the low end rather than it being muddy. Again, I don't want to get too much into audio detail, but let me share a little bit about my experience with monitors. So when I first got into music production, I would say this was back in 2010 is probably when I got my first setup. I got the Yamaha HS50Ms. This is before before Yamaha introduced the HS5s, but the 50Ms were fantastic. I really enjoyed using those speakers, especially for my home recording studio at the time when I was in high school. And I just really grew to love the Yamaha sound. So Yamaha has their bigger HS7 monitors now. They're also known for their, oh my God, I'm blanking. Is it the HS10s? I'm blanking on the name because it's been so a while since I've been in a recording engineering studio setting. NS10s, okay, so NS10Ms I think, but anyhow, Yamahas are known for their detail, their clarity, their transparency, so they're very flat sounding speakers, and what you here is basically it's true to the sound. They're not gonna color or make things sound better than they are, which a lot of engineers really appreciate. They like to be able to hear all the nuances, and if there's any issues in the audio mix, they want to be able to hear that. And so Yamaha's that was my first pair of monitors, and I really grew to love the sound. From there, I got some KRKs because I heard that they had more bass and they were more recommended for, I think, whether that be pop, hip hop, even electronic music, anything that had a lot more bass. The KRKs were often recommended as a great budget, affordable starter monitor setup. So I did get some KRKs, both the 5-inch and the 7-inch in multiple generations and they were very affordable, mind you. So when I had my nonprofit studio initiative we were teaching, beat making classes. The KRKs were a great fit because they felt very affordable. They had a lot of bass, which the kids loved, but personally, I just did not like the KRKs, and I did not like that they kept breaking down on me. I think we had 3 pairs, and 2 of those pairs, they just went out, and we had to, I took, a couple into a speaker repair store in Santa Ana, down here in Southern California, and they just kept breaking on us. So I don't think I can recommend KRKs. They may have, since that time frame for me, which was around 2014 to 2018. I'm sure the company has made improvements, but for me, reliability was not there. So I can't recommend KRKs to anybody. But I felt that, from coming from a Yamaha and KRK background, I felt like maybe there was something in the middle that I was looking for, because the Yamahas felt very clear, very transparent, but they were lacking a little bit of that low end and that warmth that I think is nice for just home listening, or just you're just listening to your mix, trying to get the vibe. And Adams seemed to be a good sort of in between. So I got myself a pair of Adams, specifically the T5V, because at the time I had a even smaller than this room as an office. And I cannot say that I was a fan of the Adams. I think they were definitely more clear than the KRKs, but they still leaned too warm for me, and I just did not love the Adams. Although I think some people who find that the KRKs are not really quite, they don't have enough presence or enough clarity, I think they might really like the Adams. So depending on where you are, I would say, if you can go into a store, check them out. That's the best way to see if certain monitor setups are right for you. But I will say, Adams, I still have my T5V sitting in the closet somewhere in the house, but they were just not for me. And so I, searched around for speakers, and then these Focal Alpha 65 Evos came up, and I knew of Focal because of their higher end speakers. A lot of my friends in the recording industry had, they were mixing on them, and they absolutely loved them before they upgraded to something bigger like Barefoot monitors. But Focal was definitely a recognizable name, but I just never had really looked into them because I think all their products were generally more expensive, in like the $800 to like $1,500 per speaker. And so for like a home setup, I was definitely looking for something more affordable. And then I discovered the Focal Alpha 65, which is a nice kind of in between a 5-inch and a 7-inch speaker, I think. So I got these, as you can see behind me. I plugged them in and I played a few tracks, and I instantly felt like this is exactly what I was looking for. More low end than the Yamaha HS5s, HS7s. Then it was more than that, while still retaining a very clear high end for me, while also smoothing out that high end. So they were just very nice speakers to just listen to, and I've been listening to them all morning as well as all night when I was editing some photos for a client. But these Focals, they're fantastic. I got them on sale for, I think, 20% off, so they were $320 a speaker, but right now I think they're gonna be back to that $400 a speaker price. So I would definitely say, if you're looking, this is typically going to be for anyone that is, I would say, like you probably already have like a 3 or a 5-inch speaker, and you kind of want something a little bit more because you realize that the 5-inch speakers don't have enough of that bass. Or this might be the first time that you're looking into monitors, and I would definitely highly recommend these Focals. Again, the upper mid-range detail, I think I'm gonna need some time to get used to that. But I mean, for a pair of speakers at that $400 range, they're fantastic. I absolutely love them, and I think no, this is not a sponsored video. They haven't, I only really want to share on this channel recommendations of things that I have tried and purchased myself and have really enjoyed. So that is going to be it for today's uncut YouTube video. And again, do your research, and I am sure you are probably looking through quite a bit of YouTube videos. I don't think this specific video of mine is going to be all that helpful, other than just point you in the right directions. Or if you have experience with a previous set of monitors, hopefully this review can help you kind of figure out, it'll help you figure out where the Focals land in between, like the Yamaha, Focal, I would say Adams about here, and then at the end the KRK in terms of the tone of the monitors. So Focals just sit right in that middle, like perfect kind of like in home, like at home, like where I'm not exercising the most critical listening, but I do appreciate the clarity and the transparency, because I still do some post audio work, mainly for videos, and it's very simple mixes nowadays. I might be doing multiple tracks of like audio, like maybe there's like a shotgun microphone, or there's a like a lavalier microphone with like music or sound effects. That's kind of like the type of work I'm doing now. So I still want that clarity and that transparency, but I just don't need the as critical of a listening experience as some of the more flatter Yamahas that I'm used to. I think that will be, that's going to be it for today's video. If you'd like to connect, I'm on Instagram. I'm much more active there. Instagram.com/itsalexo, ITSALEXOH. And you can also feel free to share your thoughts, your comments, your questions down below. They're extremely helpful for me to be able to get more in depth about a specific product or about a specific workflow or anything about what I do. So please utilize the comment section. I'm happy to answer any questions as I can. And if you want to connect, I'm over on Instagram. I'm very much active on Instagram versus on YouTube. Although that's starting to change with these kind of uncut, unedited videos. I'm finding myself being a little bit more mindful and aware of my YouTube channel. So thank you, and I hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you on the next one.